Hey friends, Kevin here, and today we're going to have a little heart-to-heart, and I'm going to answer a question that somebody brought up. A young lady brought up in a comment a week or so back, which was, now that I've done this van life thing for a while in both a full-size van and a minivan, and I've been back and forth coast to coast and Mexico and Canada and all this stuff, what would I do different knowing what I know now? And that is a very good question, because it's probably the number one mistake I made, the number one mistake that most people make when they start out. And that is this: thinking everything needs to be perfect before you go. And I run into this in forums all the time. These people have never spent a single night in a van, but they're trying to gut their vehicle. They're trying to, and they've got a little bit of money, and they're trying to figure out how to put a solar system on there that can run 3 air conditioners 24 hours a day. And all of this stuff that you don't need. There's nothing wrong with having any of that, but unless you're trying to go around the world in 80 days, this is just complete overkill. Because at this point, you don't even know if you're going to like this stuff or not. All you need to do is handle the basics. And I think people are so caught up in these van builds and seeing this pretty little, everybody's done this stuff and put all this wood in and done all this extra insulation, and the extra insulation you don't need unless you're going to be camping in the north in the bitter cold during winter time. Other than that, it doesn't matter. You just don't need it for what 95% of you, including me, are going to do when we're out doing this stuff. But everybody misses the point or gets so sidetracked they forgot what the original point was. And the original point with this is to see America or Canada. It's to get out in nature. It's to meet new people. It's to go and do and see whatever it is that interests you. This thing here is a place to sleep. It is a place for me to lock up my food and stuff when I walk away from it. It is a place to provide cover for me when it starts raining and I'm out somewhere. That is all it is. Even if I choose to go full time, I'm not looking at one of these vehicles as my house. I'm not trying to stay in it 23 out of every 24 hours a day. My goal is to be out there somewhere, exploring and doing whatever it is that I enjoy.
Welcome to Motown.
And that should be, and probably was, your original goal, is to be out there in the world somewhere, doing and seeing whatever it is that turns you on. But instead, we've gotten all caught up in this build and everything having to be perfect and trying to have this little 4x8 self-contained space where we've got running water and full facilities for everything and heat and air conditioning and nothing. That's not what you do. If you want to go sit in a park somewhere, an RV park, and you want to be in your vehicle 23 out of every 24 hours, except when you get out and walk your dog, you need to forget about van life right now. Put that thought out of your head, because there is no minivan, no cargo van, no Class B conversion van that's going to satisfy you. You need to go get you a big RV, because that's what you're going to need if you expect to live inside of it every hour of every day. And that way you can have your 2 or more air conditioners, and you can have your 42-inch television, and you can have all of those things, and you can have your real home on wheels if that's what you're looking for, because vans aren't for you.
Aww.
So you need to get down to some realistic expectations with this stuff. And going back to the original mistake, what I would do different, and what everybody would do different, would simply be to take less stuff and to have bought less stuff. because I tried to solve every single problem before I left. And while that's generally smart, and that's the way I tried to do things in business and everything else, is hit off as many problems before they could possibly happen, the fact is I bought a lot of crap 4 and 5 years ago that I have never used, that has been given away or is still stuck somewhere and it's still in its original package, because it was stuff that just wasn't needed. It was some new gadget that everybody raved about. It didn't solve any problem. If what you're buying doesn't make your life better, it doesn't make it more comfortable, or it doesn't save you a significant amount of time over the way you were doing it previously, and everyone else has been doing it for decades that have been out camping and traveling, then you don't need it. But keep things simple. Keep going back to this point. You only, especially starting out, are trying to solve very basic problems, very basic things. And these things are this. Number 1, a comfortable place to sleep. Number 2, a way to cook. Number 3, a way to keep some food cold. Number 4, a way to clean up or have a shower when you're on the road. And number 5, a place to go potty. That's it. With whatever you're doing in a minivan, cargo van, camper van, whatever you want to call it. Those are the 5 things. Don't get distracted right off the bat with how you're going to solve problems in extreme heat and extreme cold, because you probably aren't going into either one of those scenarios starting out. And when you do finally end up in one of those scenarios, you're probably going to find out you don't want to be there and you're going to go somewhere else anyway. But those are 2 things that you can come back to later. All you want to do is get started, get your feet wet, get out doing whatever it is that turns you on, and make sure this is going to be the thing for you. And then you can start adding these other things. And of course, the other problem is everybody trying to take every single thing that they have from their home and duplicate it when they're on the road. And I've gotten to the point that here's my decision. Except for emergency things, if I can go buy it somewhere on the road, I really don't need to carry it with me. And I have been in about what feels like 400 different Dollar General stores and that many Walmarts throughout this country at different points. So I know what items those stores carry. And if it's not something I have to use consistently, I don't carry it anymore. When that situation comes up that I need it, whatever it happens to be, I can run into one of those places the next time I drive by one and buy it and use it, and then probably get rid of it by either giving it away or throwing it away. So the mistake, again, is not trying to duplicate your entire home, because if you're trying to duplicate your entire home into a space that's this small, you're going to be unhappy. You're going to be cluttered. You're going to spend all your time looking for stuff, and you're going to spend way too much of your time moving stuff from place to place to place to place, in the morning, at night, trying to make a bed, all of those things. And it's going to suck the enjoyment out of it for you, and you're going to get annoyed with doing this. I certainly want to know down in the comments, what are your opinions on this? Am I right? Am I wrong? For those of you that have already been out doing it. If you're new to this and you're thinking about something, do I need to take this? Do I need to have this with me? Put that down in the comment section too. And also let me know what kind of traveling it is that you're trying to do, because it's different if you're trying to make a 2,000 or 3,000 mile cross country trip compared to if you're going to go out, you know, and hit some parks and some areas, you know, 2 hours from where you live. And there's nothing wrong with either way. But you don't need all of this stuff again if you're camping 2 hours from home in a fairly populated area. Except for, again, back to those 5 things that solve the basics. If you're wondering what to watch next, there will be some other videos popping up here, links to. You can also always click down in the description. You'll see links to recent videos I've done, or you can just click the video tab on my YouTube page here, and it will take you to different playlists for different things, starting with what kind of van should I buy and how am I going to maintain it, all the way into product reviews and different issues you're going to run into on the road and in campgrounds, so you can find exactly what it is that interests you to help you on your own adventures. And we'll talk soon.